Okay, good morning. Happy Thursday. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope you have been active, moving your body in whatever way that you can move. Doesn't have to be a lot, you just need to move. As you get older, your body starts to decay and deteriorate. It says so in the Bible. It says these bodies will pass away. However, we are to be good stewards of these bodies while we are given them on this time on earth, right? And some of us are more blessed, or I won't say more blessed. Some of us are able to walk and move and do all the things with our bodies. Some of us are not, right? But you can still move and you can still use your mind, your heart, your soul. You can still use things to bring nourishment, not just physical nourishment, but well-being nourishment, God's nourishment, His eternal nourishment to us, right? Even if you're bedridden and you can't do anything at all, you can listen to His Word, you can meditate on His Word, and you can be spiritually filled with His Word. But if you are able to move any parts of your body, I highly encourage you to move them in any way that you're able to. And every day, just go a little bit more. Like this week, maybe it's just a small amount, but next week, just add a little bit more. Build that strength, build that endurance, build that stamina. Build muscles as you're going. Strength training is so important as you age. It is so important for your muscles, but also to help your bones, because our bones start to decay. And if we don't have any muscles surrounding those bones, then that's why you have so many people fall and break their hips and their different things. Mostly, I think elderly is your hips. You fall and you break your hip because your bones are getting brittle. They're decaying away. And if you don't have muscle strength and all of that to help to keep you stable, that's another reason why it's very important to work on stabilizer muscles. So probably next week, I'm going to add in a day of a workout that is, we're going to work one side at a time, focusing on like balance and things. And you, even during those, you don't have to stand in the middle of a room with no walls or nothing to hold. You can have a chair. You can have something, a wall or a chair or something to help with your balance. But you need to work on these stabilizer muscles and balancing, because it will help you to prevent you from falling. Those who don't work on those things, they fall more often. And when they fall, if they haven't been strength training, and even some that have, you can still break a bone. But I do know that it's been proven that those who work out and who have an active health life, they recover faster than those who don't. So that's my goal, is to get everybody, just moving a little bit in your bodies, right? Let's get moving. Let's hear the word of the Lord and move our bodies while we're doing it. Be filled with His Spirit, and let Him lead and guide us. We're not doing it. The goal should not be great biceps and abs and all that. That, I'm not going to lie, that used to be my goal. My body was my idol. Like, I had nice abs, I had good muscle definition, and I was like, dang, And I see, like, the enemy, he brings this up, he pops these things back up in my memories on my Facebook feed every now and then, and I'm like, whew, because I had some abs going on, I had really good muscle definition in my arms and my back, my traps, all of that, and back then, that was my focus. That I've worked hard to get that body, but then God has shown me that wasn't the ultimate goal. The goal is to be able to move my body to go and teach about Him. It isn't so I can have nice abs and nice arms and all of this, right? It's so that I can go forth and teach about Him and His love and His greatness. He loves us however we look. He created us. He knows the beginning from the end. He knows every hair on your head. He knows every single thing about you. He knows how much weight you're going to gain, how much weight you're going to lose. He knows everything about you. So, and he loves you because he created you, and he created you in his image. So we are just to steward this. And my goal and my purpose is to help move our bodies so that we can go and tell others. We can go out and tell others about him and his glory and his goodness, and bring them to him, help him into the kingdom, right? So today's scripture, first, let me get into this real fast. The workout was legs and glutes. I just did my rounds and I didn't add anything extra really today. My knee has been bothering me, and my legs, I didn't stretch out well enough the other day, so my legs were really sore. If you have any of these little things, they're little bands like this. You can get them on Amazon, or these say love is greater than fear. You can, and that comes in a little bag, Revelation Wellness. These you can order on revelationwellness.org. They're not that expensive, but there's different. This one is light. This one I think is medium. Yeah, medium. There's extra light. There's heavy and extra heavy. And even the ones that you can get on Amazon for probably cheaper. They don't say love is greater than fear, but see, love is greater than fear. They have the same ones, right? They're the same strength or resistance. Anyway, so you can use these, and on the ones where we're on the mat, the glute bridges and the fire hydrants and the rainbow crossovers or rainbow things, you can put them around your legs, and it adds that resistance on there. I might show y'all next week. Or if you don't have any of those and you happen to have some little ankle weights, you can add that as some resistance on those floor workouts where we don't have actual weights. I did just my 3 rounds of each, and then did some abs, and I did my elliptical and read the Bible. So I've already done all my workout. I'm pretty much done for the day. Tomorrow is a full body workout, so be ready to move our entire body tomorrow. But today, let's read our scripture of the day. Is Malachi 3:10. Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and thereby put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you a blessing until there is no more need. Now, I'm going to be 100% transparent here. Tithing is something that I have struggled with, and I honestly, I still struggle. I do it now, I do, but I still struggle because I still live, I have to get out of the worldly mindset, right? I was raised in a very poor household where we would live sometimes paycheck to paycheck. After my stepdad passed away, my mom had Social Security disability benefits, and it was the first month, and that money never lasted till the end of the month. I started working at 14 years old so that I could get like my school clothes and my school supplies and stuff. But and even when I married my first husband, like, he was disabled. He didn't work the entire time we were married. I think he worked maybe 6 months out of the whole time, and he received an SSI check. I worked, but we had a very early, because we got married when I was 15. I was almost 16, but I was 15 because I was pregnant. And we had a child, and I was in school still, living off of $59 a month wasn't very much money. Even living in government housing, it wasn't very much. And my goal was not to stay on these programs. I did get AFDC is what it was called then. It's called, I think, TANF now, or SNAP or something. I don't know. But my goal was not to stay on those programs. I did not want to be you know, in that position. I wanted to improve my life and do better. So I did use those programs, and they were beneficial for me then, and they helped me. But we struggled from paycheck to paycheck. Like, how are we gonna do? You know, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make it to the end of the month? How are we gonna have gas? And a lot of times we didn't have gas. A lot of times, you know, we would just be at home. Like, I had enough to go to school and come home. My mom would pick me up and take me to school, you know, a lot of the times. So it was very difficult to, you know, as I got older, and then to start thinking about paying a tithe off of that, because I'm like, I can barely make it now, and you want me to give this first, believing that it's going to be fine. So it took me a long time, longer probably than it should, but, you know, because I have a good job now. I have a good career. I have education. I have a master's degree. I am quite educated. I paid a lot of money for my education, still paying for it. And not that education is everything, but my goal was to not stay in that position. It was to improve my life and improve, you know, I didn't want to repeat all of this stuff. I wanted to do better. So I went to school, went to college, got my master's degree. I have a very good job now. Even the job before this was a good job. You know, I started when I was 14, I worked in the nursery of a bowling alley. You know, and then at 17, I started working for Walmart as a sales clerk, and then just worked my way into management. And then I ended up I had quit school, went back to school, got my GED. Then I went and got my associates, then my bachelor's, and then eventually my master's of business administration, my MBA. And I've gone, you know, I was the executive director of an early childhood facility, and now I'm the county auditor for Scurry County. And I do make good money. But even now, because what you make, you tend to like get caught up in things, right? You start making more, you start spending more, right? Now, I'm finally to the age and to the point, which unfortunately I have debt now, which I wish that I didn't. I wish that I would have done things differently, but I didn't. So now I've got to take care of these things. But I have debt, and I've got to pay all these things, and I still have to pay my tithes, right? And so in December, when we started the Bible recap, December of last year, the Lord really started pressing, like, all the messages and everything had been coming about with tithing and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. So in January, I started, like, purposely making sure that I was tithing off of my money that I was making. But then the Lord kept on, like, okay, but that's not your income. So I started tithing off of even my husband's money that he was making at his job, right? And paying it. And I do know, like, there's been one time that I did not tithe because I was like, I can't afford to do it this month. I have to pay this and this. And oh my goodness, like, I had felt guilt, and it was like it constantly ate at me, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing that again, right? So, and ever since I have started making sure that I'm tithing my 10% at the minimum that I'm supposed to tithe, even though maybe we don't have an abundance of overflowing, and I'm not able to just go buy everything I want. Everything we need has been provided for, right? Even though I've paid this first, it's been allocated, it's paid out, that's the Lord's. And then everything has been taken care of. It's not your wants, it's your needs. And let me just throw this in, because the Lord just kind of put this in my mind. It also can be, you know, sometimes you get a little bit of I don't want to say a reward, but a blessing or whatever from doing your tithing. So I've had my Garmin watch, you know, for those who you wear activity watches. I don't buy Apple product anything. So I have a Garmin watch and I have an Android phone. My Garmin watch I've had for, I don't know, probably 2-3 years. It was a Garmin Vivo Active 4S. I've had it for a very long time. It's a good watch. I love Garmin. It is a very good product. It cost me almost $300 when I bought that one. Well, they have the 5, and I've been looking at it, but I don't want to pay $300 for it. It's just, that's not in my list of priority things, right? I would love to have it, but I'm not going to pay $300 for it. Just like the new phones, I'm not going to rush out to go get the new phone. I'm fine with my phone I have. It works. It makes phone calls. It does this. I'm good. So I'm at work. We have a program called Healthy County, and it's just by wearing our tracking watches, and it's by being like doing physical exercises and stuff. And if you get at least, I think it's 6,000 or 7,000 steps a day, you get so many points every day. And if you fill out a health assessment and you do these little healthy training videos and different things for mental health and also physical health and nutritional health, all these things, you get different points. Well, I happened to jump onto the website and then to sign into my portal, and I was looking in there and I looked at all my points. I actually had enough points to be able to get the new Garmin 5, Vivo Active 5, free. I didn't pay anything for it. I got it for free. So something I wanted, but I got blessed with it for free. I have a walking pad in my office, like a little treadmill, that I got for free last year because of my points. So even though I may not pay for it with the money, the Lord will provide it. He knows what our wants and our desires. He knows our hearts. He knows the things that we like and what we want. And even though sometimes we may have to wait a little bit, He will fulfill some of those. Now, I'm not going to say He's going to give you everything you want, because that's just not reality. But He will if you're following His word and you're trying to draw near and you're getting closer, the things that you need will be provided for. And then He will throw in some little sprinklings of blessings too. But you have to recognize it as a blessing. I didn't recognize it was a blessing until just now when I was talking about this. I recognized that I was getting it, I was excited about it, but I didn't recognize that He provided this, right? I didn't have to pay $300 for this watch. I would not have paid $300 for this watch, but He provided it. It was a blessing from Him. So, one of the things also as you get older, or for me anyways, as I've gotten older and as I've got learning more and more of the kingdom, that it's not about all the material things, because these things you can't take with you. Just like I wouldn't pay for that, I'm not going to pay all the money for all the newest trends and the most expensive things. That's not my thing. I don't care about that anymore. Years ago when I had a washer and dryer set, I bought the LG, and it was fancy as a front load. It had all the little things, the timers, and all the bells and whistles. And they worked. They lasted a very long time, well over 10 years, right? But last year or something like that, the washer stopped draining, and I was having to drain it manually and stuff, and that was for the birds. So we go to buy a new washer and dryer, and they're like, well, do you want this? I said, oh, I just need it to wash and dry my clothes. I don't need it to sing to me. I don't need it to send me a notification. I don't need all of that. I just need a washer and a dryer that I can put my clothes in. They're going to come out clean. They're going to come out dry, and that's it. And I got a very basic model. Nothing fancy. There is nothing fancy about my washer and dryer. It is probably the lowest end of the washer and dryers that you could get. I don't care. I don't need these to talk to me. I don't need a refrigerator that has a screen on it that I can just see all the stuff. I don't need all that. I need it to keep my food cold and my other stuff frozen. I need my clothes to be washed and dried. I don't know. I feel like as you come into more and more into His word and closer to Him, you start seeing that these things, these material things, aren't what it's about. Like, it's not about all that. It's great to have good stuff and all of that, yeah, but that's not what it's about. It's about Him and His love and His everything about Him. So my goal is to not be worried about all of the stuff, I like to have nice clothes, yes, but I'm not going to spend a lot of money on it anymore. I used to spend a lot of money on clothes. I used to spend a lot of money on a lot of things. But I just don't see it that way anymore. God has changed my view where I'm like, I don't need to spend that much money on stuff. I don't need to go spend $50 on a sweatshirt when I can get a sweatshirt that works just fine for $20, you know? And so it's just, I think it's an outlook that maybe doesn't change on everybody. I don't know. But I do know that if you pay your tithes and you follow his word and you do the things that he calls you to do, he will provide and it will be okay. I still struggle. I'm not going to lie. My dream last night, I dreamed that I went to the grocery store and I only had like a bag of dog food and a couple of other items. When they rang it up, it was $700 and something. And I was like, what? And I'm like getting on my phone to check my bank account to be like, I guess, you know. But I woke up going, what in the world? Thankful that I had not gone to the grocery store and it was not $700 and something. But, you know, it's still a very real thing for me. Financially, I'm still working on trusting and knowing, having faith, believing and knowing that God has got this. I have never been in control and I never will be in control. He is fully in control. Okay, I gotta go. Tomorrow's full body. I will talk to you later. Be blessed.